Hello, good evening, Mr. Yu. Hi.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming to, we do a recording together, because I have this important question that my students have about science. Okay, my students are from primary school and they have problems in open-ended question. And I know you are specializing in this area. So I want to ask, what are the resources our students care from you to help them in this science journey? Yeah.
Okay, let me do a screen sharing in today's sharing.
Yeah.
You can see from here.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to introduce you. Okay, so Mr. Howard Yu is we have this is the author of Mastering P5 PSLE Science Open-Ended Question. That's why I invited him to actually share with us. And he's a former PSLE science marker, so he exactly knows how students what kind of errors they make and what are the correct answers. Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Yu. Yeah,
thank you. So basically, today's my sharing. I'm focusing on helping students to score well in their section B. This is applicable to P4 to P6 student doing the science section B. Yeah. So this is my track record. I have taught in Pei Hwa Presbyterian Primary School, and I've marked the PSLE science paper for 3 times. And then subsequently, I run my tuition center at Beauty World. These were my former P6 students from various schools. So they truly enjoy my lesson at One Academy. So we come back to this focus because parents and teachers and students, they need to understand what the examiners are actually looking for in section B especially. So students, they need to give a precise scientific answer and also be able to demonstrate the application of concepts. So the focus is concepts applications. And then the application of knowledge and process skill. So pupils from actually as young as a P3, because P3 is the first year they be exposed to science. But generally, I can say like 80% of the P3 students, they have no issue doing well in the P3. But once they come to P4, the problem lies in because of this part. Because pupils must be able to apply the scientific facts, concepts, and principles to a new situation. So this new situation may not every time appear in a textbook. So it can be like in general, for example, in this example, I mean, this is a real life example. If you buy frozen food, right, you put in the fridge, right? So there's this thing that happens. So the student is supposed to explain how the white solid was formed. Yeah. So this is actual PSLE questions from the 2020. Yeah, on these questions.
So to a lot of students, it's a new question to them, right?
Yes, it's a new situation. Yeah. So for parents and students, I encourage you to subscribe to my One Academy Science YouTube channel for the full solution. But in summary, this is what happened. Yeah, the water vapor in the surrounding lost heat and condensed to form water droplets. And then the water droplets lost heat further. Okay, lost heat further to the frozen packaging till they become ice flakes. So this white solid is actually the ice flakes. Yes.
So a lot of problems is that the children don't know how to use the concepts to explain, right? So
yes, because just now the previous one, right? Most students, they may stop here, form water droplets. But actually, this one is not a water droplet. They need to go one step further because the water droplets undergoes further cooling to become ice flakes. Yeah. And then this is also another PSLE science questions in 2020 on the malaria. So similarly, the other thing is actually this question is quite mouthful. But I like to share with parents and students that's good news because science is not English. So actually, technically, they can answer in point form. Yeah. So that's why this is one good news.
Yeah, and don't be so lengthy, right? Just explain to the point, right? So I think what Mr. Yu is coaching is that about how we can be, when we meet with creative questions, how can the children actually try his best, as well as, don't make the errors like, non-scientific terms, etc. So that's why I feel that it's important, we actually listen to Mr. Yu. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. So this question is the same question, is part B. You can also refer to the answers provided, but this is quite mouthful. So in my training, I will teach students how to extract the important information and then present in concise answer. Because this will be advantage for students who are not so in their grammar or maybe weaker in English. Yeah. Yes. And then just an overview, these are process skills from the easiest on top observation to the most difficult formulating hypothesis. So these skills has been identified by MOE that the students, they will be tested from P3 to P6. Yeah. And then this is a new scoring system which started last year, the AL system. So actually it's possible. For example, this student, before he joins my training, maybe he's scoring 74. So 74, if you look here, right, is actually the upper tier of the AL5. So if I help this student improve by 11 marks,
wow,
it's actually very possible for science. Yeah, very possible. Yeah, it's not miracle. It's actually quite possible. Yeah, with the right training.
Answer the questions to the point and with concepts, right?
So this child, if he jump 11 marks, actually jump by 3 AL grades.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah.
Yes. So it's quite possible for science.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is some of the testimony in the past. These 11 girls are from the same school. So actually they didn't do well after the SA1. So the parents sent them for my training during the June holiday. Yeah, June or October. I can't remember. Maybe it's I think near to just before SA2. I think it's October. Yeah. Okay. October. So they came for my training. And then after the 1-day course, right, their marks improve a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. And they're from the same schools.
Yes. I see. So the test is the same one, right? Yeah.
Yes, the test is the same, correct.
Wonderful, yes. Wonderful.
Yes. And then here's one example of students using the wrong concept to explain. Yeah, so you can see here. Yeah.
Zero.
0 mark, correct. Yeah. This is a 2-mark question. So the child actually doesn't get any marks. So the key concept tested is actually the water vapor with higher temperature, lost heat to the air with lower temperature, and condense to form tiny water droplets. So the child need to actually give more specific terms and also avoid using non-scientific words like warmer or cooler air. They should use the measurements of temperature. Yes. And then also I highlight to students why we can't use air. So why we can't say that air loses heat? We must say water vapor. Because they learn in the science, right? Air is a mixture, consists of nitrogen and oxygen. So if you talk about the air loses heat, right? So it actually means the air become liquid oxygen and liquid nitrogen. Yeah. So although this is something like quite close, but it's a wrong concept. Yeah, because water vapor is the correct word. Because water vapor, when you condense, it becomes the water droplets. But if you talk about air, right? If you say that air lost heat, because air is a mixture, it contains nitrogen and oxygen. So that's why it's important to use the right term.
All right. Okay. Yeah, important so that you get full 2 marks, right?
Yes. And similarly, this one I have also put out in my YouTube channel. So you are encouraged to subscribe to One Academy Science. Many questions to read through. So I won't be spending too much time during this interview with Jasline.
Just go and find One Academy Science and then you can subscribe.
Yes. So this is also another interesting question. Talk about this part. It's a new situation. The student need to explain how this mist was formed. Yeah. So the key concept here is the water vapor with higher temperature from the surrounding lost heat to the air with lower temperature around the ice, which I annotated here, this part, and condensed to form tiny water droplets, which appear as mist.
So the student, see, if answer wrongly is 0 again.
Yes, again, this is 0 mark, correct.
So don't have, please prepare your children for answers, okay, for open-ended questions. Yeah.
Yes, correct. Because sometimes this sort of situation, the child may know, mentally, but can't express out, you see. Yeah,
Or they're
can't
not
express.
free, like they know like the fridge one, but they may not know there's a ice cream one, so they don't know how to apply as well.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So this is another very good example. This child actually learns the technique well. And this is the actual reproduction of the child's exam paper.
Wow, full marks.
So you see this child actually score full marks.
Wow, so
Yeah.
proud. Very good.
Yeah, because you know for PSLE, there's a 5-mark questions. So most of the schools, they start to prepare the child from P5. So generally from P5 SA1, they will have at least 1 5-mark question in the section B, which is actually quite lengthy. They have to base on the same situation. Yeah. But sometimes they will split 2 situations, but the concepts are interlinked. Yeah. And then I also published this book to help students in P5 and P6 to master the answering of open-ended questions. So if you're interested, you can contact me.
Okay. Great.
And this was a training done successfully last year during the September 1-week break. This is actually the last break before the PSLE exam.
The last one, okay.
Yeah, correct.
But still very good results, right? Yeah.
Yes, correct. So once again, I'm aiming to help students to jump grades. So especially, I think most students, they are weaker in section B, so they lost marks, and then they can't achieve their, maybe from AL1 to AL3. So my target is to help students to achieve within AL1 to AL3. And this course is already filled, because many parents, they like their child to learn from my training. So this already full already. I keep my class size small, up to 8 students. But however, don't be disappointed. If your child is in P4, can consider joining this. Yeah.
And hurry.
Yeah.
How many
So
left?
it's also during the March holiday. I have still 7 seats left.
Okay.
So this is more suitable for all P4. And then actually, for parents who are having the eldest child in P4, this may be something new to you. Because for most schools in Singapore, they actually do internal P4 streaming into 3 categories of P5 classes. So generally what the school do is they will see the results, especially the maths and science result from the students, so that they can be streamed to these 3 categories. I think we know as parents, the high ability, the mixed ability, and the low ability. Okay, why this is important? Because once your child is streamed to P5, right, they won't do streaming at P5 already. They will on block promote the child from P5 to P6.
These are the 2 important years, right? P5.
Yes, yeah. So it's important for your child to achieve better marks, so that it will have a higher chance to be streamed to the better P5 classes. Yes. And then this one is for P5 student. Yeah, the 1-day course during the May Day holiday on the 2nd May. And this is open for registration now. For P6 student, this is also suitable for weaker P6. Because as I told you, I was a former PSLE science marker. So if you analyze the PSLE paper, you will notice that about up to 65% of the content are from P3 to P5. So P6 content is about 35%. So even if you're a P6 student, you can still join this class if you want. Yeah.
Great.
To master your P3 to P5 content.
Yeah, which you might have forgotten already.
Yes, and then this one is the same as the previous one, but this is the full online on the 3rd of May. Yeah, so this is full online.
Okay.
So full online, actually there's one advantage. The participant can view the recording one day after the training. Yeah, I will upload to my private link to the YouTube.
Okay, so
yeah. So once again, it's possible. This was conducted last year. I was telling Jasline, it was full house last year during the September holiday. Yeah. So thank you very much, Jasline. I finished my sharing.
Thank you, Mr. Yi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so for those who may not know me, okay, so I'm going to share a little bit about about what I do, maybe to Mr. Yi's students as well. Wait, let me share my screen here. Sorry, it takes a bit of time. Okay, so just open it up and share my screen here. Okay, so to me, to complement the courses, or with your children is actually having a primary 6 PSLE, okay, soon, which is in August, okay, and I have this, or your child is having some motivation issues, because a lot of parents tell me that their children not motivated, they're wasting their time, so that's why every holiday I will have this course, and I would invite students, parents, and to understand that, to actually help the child to transform, be a more motivated child, you need to have the basic 3 things, 3M, okay, which is the methods, okay, and you learn about methods of studying, how you can motivate yourself, and the mindset, which is very important, especially for PSLE students. They need to be mindful, what they're going through, as well as you can say that they're stressed, or they're coming, some of them cannot be keeping up with the pace, so that's why it's important we understand all this. And through the camp, we are able to learn. Okay, so in the March holidays, on the 16th and the 17th of March, which is Wednesday and Thursday, altogether 8 hours. Okay, you'll learn all the 3 methods. Okay, whether it's learning of how to use flashcards, how to use like mind maps, to make studying easier, and also some of the mindset. What are we studying for, the purpose, right? So these are also important, for essential for every student. Okay, and for Mr. Yi, right? Okay, I'm going to give a very special discount for only 449. Okay, you're actually saving $50, and I have a lot of bonuses to give away. So do WhatsApp me, to find out what are all the bonuses that I can give, so that actually you're helping your child to actually be more focused, as well as all the weaknesses, I can also help them to clear. Okay, and I'm just going to re-go through again what are the bonuses, which is the ebooks and videos, and these are all very useful, and it's a lifetime, you're accessible to them, and you and your child can also learn from all this. Okay, and importantly, it's suitable for 10 to 16, okay, especially those who are going through the national exams. And I make it very small class because I will have discussions, I will make them do worksheets, and I'll have hands-on, like there was one time when I was doing this course where the mother actually asked me to teach them how to memorize 默写, so I also teach that, so that they can have hands-on, how they can make their studying easier. Okay, so these are the few things that I teach, good study habits, what are the study methods, and all the application, right, and examination techniques as well, so that for students that are in primary school, we can improve at least 1 level up. Okay, and this is my link to register. Okay, and of course you can WhatsApp me, and these are all my testimonials of my students online. They are from usually primary school, 10, 11 or 12 years old. Okay, or maybe those just happen to be Sec 1. They also need to learn why are they studying and what are the methods they can use for studying. Okay, so there are the Sec 4 girls says that she learns that she should not be procrastinating, and she finds that after the course she's able to be more organized and more motivated. As well as the P5 girl, she's actually unable to focus, but actually now she actually learned what is the growth mindset, how she can use flashcards and mind map to help her to study instead of just memorizing. Okay, so I have students that really improve in their PSLE prelim results as well, and just by my own personal coaching as well. Yeah, so these are the different ways I want to support Mr. Yi's students, and like these are the parents who tell me that the son actually appreciated her for signing him up, which I'm very, very glad as well. And yeah, just for my PSLE coaching is that I think Mr. Yi is very, very familiar. I will give a lot of like support to the, whether it's technical or whether it's mindset or whether it's motivation. Maybe I could tell them what is the problems, especially for parents which are so busy and they do not really understand the requirements of different subjects for PSLE. So I'm able to actually communicate with the student on what's needed, as well as monitor the progress. Okay, so which is very tedious for a lot of parents as well. And of course, we will also test on whether he knows enough for the subject as well. So this is my my support to primary school students, and that's all my sharing. All right. Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Jasline. Yeah, so we hope that parents can consider both my 1-day intensive training and also the 2 days one, because in June I'm having this 2 days one. So I'm so thankful to Miss Jasline Loves, who has helped some of my students in the past to make improvement in both in their school exam and the national exams.
Thank you, Mr. Yu. So I also love the book. Yeah, please buy the book. It's very, very important. Yeah, and subscribe to his YouTube channel, which is so useful for students and parents as well. Okay, thank you so much tonight for your
Good
sharing.
night. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.